Director Derek Cianfrance seems to have done the impossible, taken a real-life person who is quite unique and made a movie about him that isn't complete garbage. Oddly enough, I had no idea who Jeffrey Manchester was. Upon seeing the trailer, I thought it was a weird idea for a movie, but I did the minimal research. I now know he was an infamous thief, known for making holes in roofs, thus the nickname Roofman. And I think what they made here is an example of what non-fiction should be, which, like I said, is not that complicated, so let's talk about why. As far as accuracy goes, I don't really care. For the most part, it's true. He was known for being nice. If you know about him, you know the ending. I'm sure half the middle sections are complete fabrication, but it's a movie and stuff must happen.
Incredibly inventive.
The idea of an escaped convict heading out into Toys R Us living off of M&Ms is the kind of thing you read about and wonder, is that really true? I don't know if the M&M part is, but it does pique your interest, and that's the kind of thing that really fits the movie setting. The opening scene gives you the exact idea of who Jeffrey Manchester is. Formerly in the US Army and extremely intelligent, he's clearly a decent guy who just needs cash. They really do a good job showing off just how intelligent he is through examples. It's properly spaced. They don't overdo it, it's enough to get the point across. And the best thing is, Channing Tatum is really played to his strengths here. Relatively charming guy, sporting a well-built physique. It really is a perfect match, as long as you overlook the other perfect match. Whoever that may have been. He's not just one note either, being a criminal who had a family, that's gonna be an issue. And when those issues come up, it's pretty sad. It's not like he did something violent and they still gave us those scenes, expecting sympathy for the sake of drama.
Because that would be fucking crazy.
And the fact that he can't see his daughter again is presented realistically. Like a harsh reality. Obviously, that part of his life is over, and it'd be hard for most movies to resist a scene that says fuck you logic. Speaking of logic, most of the stuff he does, for the most part, makes sense. Again, don't know about accuracy, but aside from the somewhat questionable idea of stealing and pawning off video games to pay for 14 cavities, not too many complaints here. Technically, even that does get mentioned, though it should have been a bigger issue, but overall, the basic logic is well thought out. I will complain, though, about some slightly underdeveloped side characters who really don't do that much. His veteran friend Steve is relevant, but could have been in more of the movie. There's a fat employee who gets made fun of. The payoff to that is blink you'll miss it. And while Lee Wainscott is a perfectly fine love interest with the real-life name too, I'm a bit confused about the older daughter, Lindsay. By confusing, I mean I doubt that really happened. Basically an unreasonable, nasty kid who says things for no justifiable reason, and the way it concludes is the one thing in the movie that isn't satisfying. Doesn't make sense either, could have just cut that part out, it wouldn't have been missed, but at least Peter Dinklage plays a perfectly unlikable Toys R Us manager. True to life stuff there, I mean the actor, but even though some scenes don't need to exist, the movie is by no means too long. At some point you may think it's going to lose momentum, but it never really does. The opening bits may be the strongest parts, the most fascinating, but I was not bored with it. And I think it's the combination of comedy and drama that completely justify the 2-hour runtime. Even though it's not a comedy or the deepest movie out there, aside from the lead, the cast is just okay, but it's the overall flow of the movie that continues to keep you invested. You're going to want to know what's going to happen. If you don't know the ending already, you'll really want to know. And when it comes to partially true stories like this, that's exactly what I'm looking for. That being said, there is an ending, there is an event that leads to that ending, and I don't love how that's handled. Again, if you don't know it, look it up, it's the same, but I wish they spent more time leading up to that. It kinda just happens. I think they assume the audience knew the outcome, because it's pretty anticlimactic. Not the entire ending, the very end is well done, I enjoyed that. And even the end credits show you the entire movie wasn't bullshit. I'm not going to speak too much on that, nor am I going to study the guy and act like I always knew. A genius who knows all. But I will say, if this was complete fiction, if the Roofman never existed, I'd be more impressed. I mean, I still am, because some reason this wasn't a given. Acting, directing, that's all important too. But now, not fucking up the story is a big deal. A story that's gifted to you, because the Roofman is somebody worth reading about. It's a fascinating case. I'm glad they successfully adapted that with minimal errors, but if it was a brand new movie, I'd be raving a lot more. Not that that should matter, a great movie is a great movie, but I just find that fascinating. The flaws are few and far between, the lead is fantastic, probably not gonna do that good because what does these days? But a good time, the Roofman definitely is.
Party on, dudes!
Unless it was a complete lie and Manchester was a complete dick, but that's the way reviewing nonfiction goes. So, let me know what you thought about the Roofman down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please share it, hit the like button, consider subscribing, and be sure to hit the bell. It is the only way that YouTube shows you anything. Well, not the only way, but it's definitely not functional. I'm the Analyst, and remember kids, being a thief is bad, but if you're a nice thief, make it a cool nickname.